Ooh, it looks like we're live. Hello, hello. This is Harmony Stamps with Michelle, and I'm Michelle, and I'm in Colorado, and that box behind me is what this is all about today. But before we get too far into it, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, which is how I can bring you the products I'm bringing you today to see. Um, And I want to just remind you that we still have the last chance sale going. More things are selling out. That Bear Punch is gone, and so is the um, Above It All bundle, because the stamp set has been sold. All of the quantities we have of that is gone now as well. Several things are still going, and that sale goes through January 3rd at midnight. That ends. Some things are actually on sale, but some things are just flat out retiring. It will say retiring soon, or yeah, it'll say retiring soon. All the bundles from the mini catalog are retiring, but some of their stamp sets and or dies or punches are not retiring. In some cases, the punch is sticking around, but the stamp set's going, and that sort of thing. But most of the bundles, except for maybe 3, I think, the stamps and dies are carrying on um, independently, just not bundled together. Okay. So if none of those components are going to be on sale if they're both continuing. But if none of those components is on sale, then it's still a better deal to get the bundle if that's currently available for you. I think the Mary's Trees dies are currently out of stock, so you won't be able to purchase that bundle right now. The bundle itself is retiring, but you can still get the stamp set. So if that's something you want, you can purchase it now, or you can wait till they're both back in stock, but you'll be purchasing them independently. It's my understanding those are supposed to be back the week of the 25th, but the Abundant Beauty masks were already supposed to have been back on the 7th, and now they're pushing to next week before they'll possibly be back. So there's no guarantee that it's going to come back. So if you want to delay on that so you can still get the bundle price, certainly welcome to do that as well. But you might be risking the ability to get other things that you do want. And I don't want you to lose out. We also have our last day for the December paper pumpkin is coming up on, need to get your signed up for your subscription by the 10th in order to get that the month's paper pumpkin. And then on the 11th, the next month's paper pumpkin will be the offering, and it's going to match up with one of the suites coming in the mini catalog. And I'm so excited. I may have to get extras of those. It's pretty from what I can see. And it definitely coordinates with one of the suites in the new mini catalog, one that I've already showed you, not one I'm showing you today. What else is going on? There's always so much going on, of course. I do have my class that we did on Wednesday where we featured the modern garden bundle with the garden walk, I think, suite paper. Those cards are here, and you can get the make and takes to make to each of these 3 cards by making a $35 purchase using my host code. Just for a minute, I'm gonna have that go across the screen. It's also in the description, but since this isn't really what mostly this video is about, I just wanted to remind you that that is available with a $35 purchase before shipping and taxes. I can send you the make and takes for all of those cards. That includes the cardstock and the embellishments to make those cards. You'll need to provide your own stamps, inks, and adhesives. All right. And I need to be able to see your address to be able to get it to you. Otherwise, I won't be able to do that. So let's get into what we're here for today. This, obviously, and I cannot show it to you, is the new mini catalog. Sorry, I'm personally hearing an echo. I hope you aren't. That's better. All right, so this is the Celebration. I can only show you the covers of these until January 4th. And this is the mini catalog. It's January through April 2024. And once again, I can only show you the cover. And this has the ice cream bundle, and that's a really fun one. But this is the join author. Well, one of them. You have two choices. Let me make it bigger. There we go. That's bigger. We like that. This is a glass mat studio. And what is a glass mat studio, you may ask? Well, let me see. There we go. The ink is just here to kind of show you some things. So this can be used to clean brushes and stuff, but it also kind of holds your ink pads pretty sturdy. And this will actually completely hold your ink spots if you're using ink spots. You can use this as a palette. You can use this for cleaning brushes if you're doing water painting, and it does handily stick to this glass mat quite easily for when you're wanting to use it in that respect. And then this is just like our Stampin' Chamois, which you see me use frequently to clean stamps. And this is thinner, different color, obviously, a little bit easier to maneuver. And you can use it for cleaning your glass mat surface or your stamping blocks or your stamps themselves. It's just really great for picking up that ink off of those surfaces. This is the glass mat, and it goes in inches from 0 to 13 inches on both sides. So it's going to fit a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper plus an inch on each side. And then this can be used as a palette, which is really awesome. And it has all the little measurements so you can start putting your stuff in there to see what you want to measure. Now, there obviously is going to be, reflection from the lights when I'm doing lives, but I can always cover those up a bit and make them less difficult because aside from this, I'm not going to be using that area a whole lot in any of my lives. The first suite, well, before we get to that, I received this free gift for the Stamping Up 35-year anniversary. It was really awesome. It's some basic white cardstock in 5x7 size, and we'll be using some of that today. Get a couple sheets out without sliding everything down. All right, so this is the Forever Love Suite, and it comes with these lovely embellishments, which are gold flecked, petal pink, and pretty peacock. They call them foiled gems, and they are adhesive backed, so they're going to be fun. And then there's this pretty peacock and gold ribbon, which is very thin. It's thinner than I would have thought, and it's almost like a kind of a it's more than gauze, but it's less than fabricy. So it folds really well for tying bows and things like that. Very pretty. And then of course there is the Lifetime of Love bundle, which is this beautiful stamp set and these amazing dies. And we will be playing with those in a minute. It also comes with these cards and envelopes, and they are just regular 4.5 by, or 4.25 by 5.5 cards. And it's got this lovely foiled print on the back and the front. So if you just want to use these as card bases or matte layers on your card bases, you can do that too. The inside is white, but it's a basic, very vanilla. And so is the envelope and this beautiful laser cut edge. And of course you have your adhesive here, and you can fold it down. Personally, I would hand deliver this or maybe put it in another envelope or include it in a package instead of sending it directly through the mail, because I'm pretty sure these are going to get a little damaged just going through the regular mail. But beautiful. Looking forward to playing with those. And the paper. We can say a whole lot about this paper. It is gorgeous. So this is in the Moody Mauve and gold foil. And on the back, we have these little lines on some very vanilla. We have this pretty peacock in gold, little flowers, and similar flowers on the back, but in petal pink. And then we have these beautiful leaf, vines, I guess. And pretty peacock, and on the back is Moody Mauve with the stripes. This would be fun for a masculine card for sure. More pretty peacock in gold with flowers, and our dies will cut some of these. Like this one, I know for sure. This one will cut with the dies, and I believe this one, and maybe this one. Actually, since we are going to play a little bit, let's make sure. All right. So this will definitely cut that. And this will definitely cut this one. And not that way, this way. Nope. Which one does it cut? Because I know it cuts one. There we go. That one cuts. And I think this one will cut. Not quite. Maybe this one. This one will do that. There we go. So at least 4 of the dies will cut 4 different elements from this sheet, which is lots of fun. You can definitely use those as focal points. And on the back of this, we have very vanilla and pretty peacock leaves. And oh my goodness, look at these little roses on a lattice. They're beautiful. Pretty peacock and gold. Petal pink and a nice neutral pattern. And then we have this beauty. Again, pretty peacock and gold. And then we're back at petal pink with, I don't know, kind of a fan-like repetitive pattern. It's very pretty as well. And that is the paper that goes with this suite. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp the images on our 5x7 paper. And since these are the kind that basically they're more of an outline, I'm just going to use basic gray to put those on the paper. Give me a minute while I do that. I'll get these off the back. And this is some of the fun that you get to do when you first get the stamp sets, especially with the cling ones. You're going to have to separate them from the main rubber base and remove the backing. For my words, I tend to use the stickers. So it comes with these stickers that would go on the back of the stamps. And for the words, sometimes in order to line it up properly, you really do need to use the stickers. I'm not going to put those on today. And the way I like to do it is I put the sticker on my block first and then hover it over the stamp in its face down position until I get the alignment really good. And then I go ahead and stamp my image. Oops, sorry. Glass mat makes noise. Note to self. Put stamp side down. There we go. Just loading up my acrylic blocks here. I am also going to need to clean these stamps after use each time. There we go. Just because I don't really want to put them away dirty. Now, what did I do with my sharing? I know I had it. Oh, the joy of misplacing things. It's one of my favorite things to do. Apparently, there it is. See, I knew I had it. All right, we'll get it out and keep it ready. And then I have just the basic gray. Sorry about that. All right, we're going to start with the images. And I'm going to do this one in the upright position. Beautiful. Oops, sorry. That's going to take some getting used to. Probably make me less dropsy, I would hope, because I'll have more reason not to, or be more careful while I'm maneuvering things. This one is going to go right here. Nice. One of the nice things too about the cling stamps is they generally are stamped well right out of the gate. Where is that one? Oh, I'll figure it out afterwards. Then we have this leaf pattern here, which we'll do right here. And another flower. Nice. And this is our last image. We'll put it right here. It's got some nice thin lines for the imagery. I didn't do a full good stamp on this one, but we can see from the rest that was really done well that it's going to give us a nice image. And you can use blends, you can use Stampin' Write markers to add color, you can color with a variety of different measures, or you can leave without coloring. It's actually very pretty sometimes when you just have the outline and don't worry about shading. But I want to see how the words look, how they stamp. And sometimes it's hard to see which is right side up, but I think it's this way. Yep. Wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness. That's going to be the right way up. Congratulations on your wedding day. So this is obviously going to be for weddings and anniversaries in a lot of ways. And pink. It's going to go this way. Yep, forever and always. Beautiful. And love you. That is all the stamps for the stamp set. I'm going to put the ink away for now because our next fun is going to be playing with the dies. So once again, this is how beautiful this set is going to stamp. And I will keep that with the stamps so that I can at a glance see it. Now, some of the stamps I want to, like when they fill in color or you're doing what we would call layering, I'm going to want to use appropriate colors for what's going on. But if it's just an outline, I'm basically going to use the basic gray. All right, in order to see the die cuts and how they work. Obviously, the outlines are just going to cut the outlines of these images, so I'm not going to die cut those today. But I am going to die cut the other things. That makes sense. And I do need to cut this a little bit down. I'm going to use my stamp cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to move things around a bit so you can see better what I'm doing. Oh, so sorry. Everything. I'm going to try and get through 2 bundles today. But the next bundle is also going to be pretty significant as far as the die cutting that we're going to be doing. I'm not going to do the outlines, but I am going to do the different leaves, assuming I can keep those from falling down. And then, you know, after the video, at some point, I will restamp the outlines onto paper and die cut those specifically and put them in with my thing so that I can see it. And there's not room for the last die, so we'll do that separately. Now, where did I put my other cutting plate? Not going to get very far without that. Add it underneath there, of course. And I'm just going to run it through the machine. Lift these up. Oh, pretty, pretty. All right. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm usually using retired paper or cardstock that I had before I started doing Stampin' Up, just because I don't want to use the really good stuff that I'm still using. And when I have other stuff that is not as needed currently. And then if I can get that one to release, there we go. And that one. All right, when they're stubborn, you get your take your pick tool and you poke through the little hole, and that makes it release from the die. Well, those are going to be fun to play with, that's for sure. I think I'm definitely going to enjoy working with this one. Let me see, do I have enough on that sheet to do the last one? Nope, so I'm going to put another piece. And we're going to move that over. All right, and we're going to put the last die on this. And get these off of there so that they're not going to be a problem. So basically, have this going like that. And there we go. cracking is normal. Probably should start thinking about getting new plates for this one. And so before we do any weeding, this is going to give us a nice little outline. So I would, if I were doing this to put on a card, I would use the adhesive sheets to make it easier for placing on my cards. Yeah. If it's already got the adhesive, that's going to make it a lot easier. All right. Let me clean that off some. When you're doing intricate stuff, it leaves stuff all over your plate. All right. That is the Forever Love. The second one we're going to do today, and the final one, is Thoughtful Expressions bundle. And it is the, hold on just 1 second. Poetic Expressions suite. So this comes with an embellishment, which is these champagne iridescent dots, and there are a variety of sizes in here. They can be used for shaker cards, or you would need to use glue to place them on your card bases. There's a minimum of 3 sizes, but I think there might be 4 sizes in there. And basically you would just use them. If you want to put them on the cards, you're going to need to apply your own adhesive. I would use Tombow glue for that. If they're big enough, I might use a glue dot, but those look like they're going to be fun. And then, of course, this stamp set, this bundle, which is stamps and dies. And it's got that beautiful hummingbird, which I'm definitely going to be interested in playing with. I think maybe I'm going to double stamp the hummingbird so I can show you that one and see how that cuts out. But we've got this flower, this one, this little greenery with some flowers and some lovely sentiments. But the dies, they are what are going to steal the show. These are some great layering embellishment / sentiment dies that are going to be a lot of fun to work with. Plus we got more flowers, more leaves, this lovely flower, and then it will die cut each of the images from this stamp set. All right, now let's look at the paper. This reminds me of upholstery or tapestry, and in some cases, you know, some very fancy wallpaper. Let me try and keep that avalanche at bay. So the colors in this one are Boho Blue, Bubble Bath, Lost Lagoon, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Wild Wheat. And so this is obviously Boho Blue with that nice, you know, pattern. It looks like linen-y between the white pattern. And then on the back we have Moody Mauve in this nice fun pattern. And this is Wild Wheat on Berry Vanilla with Bubble Bath accents. It actually looks pretty good. And on the back is the, was it Lost Lagoon or Pretty Peacock? Let's see. Lost Lagoon. And Boho Blue. So there's little triangles. I'm not sure if you can see them, but in between the cross patterns there's triangles and other things in that blue and Lost Lagoon. And this is obviously Bubble Bath on basic white, Boho Blue with these lines. This could very easily be wallpaper looking, and it's like little flowers. I think they're very small. All right, and then we have more wild wheat and bubble bath on berry vanilla. Looks like berry vanilla. And just some very delicate light flowers. And on the back we have Lost Lagoon with this fun pattern, cross-hatching sort of pattern. And then we have Moody Mauve. Nice little pattern there. And Mossy Meadow Boho Blue. I think this looks more like basic white on the back. So there's a closer look at that. And Wild Wheat again with the flowers and some of the leaves. Lost Lagoon and this nice little pattern all across it. So it's nice having the extra pattern choices for the backside when you just want something to be kind of a background for your image. All right, now we're going to, more cling stamps, of course. We're going to pull these off of their sheet and pull the backings off, load them up, and start stamping. One of the other reasons I like to do this when I first get a stamp set is just to make sure it is stamping the way it's intended to stamp. If there's any defects, then I would know in a decent amount of time and can actually reach out to customer service for replacement if it is bad. If it's stamping with halos, that's something I fix myself by trimming the stamp itself on the edges at an angle. That will help. Usually that's a problem more with stamps like this where it's a narrow sentiment usually is where you get most of your halos, but you sort of learn which ones are going to be more likely to do that with your stamping style as you play and practice. Here's the hummingbird. My sister and we spent some time in Arizona back in 2003, I want to say. I think it must have been 2003, where we actually went to a hummingbird banding session. I think I'm going to need the E block for this hummingbird. And that was so much fun. We actually got to physically handle the hummingbirds to release them. We weren't handling them for the banding. That was the people who were trained in that. But the hummingbirds, before you release them back out into nature, needed a drink of sugar to help fuel them because they've been stressed out from the experience of being captured. And so it's just the right thing to do to get them some sugar. So you hold them in your hands and have a little bit of sugar right there for them to drink as needed. And then you let them fly away when they are done drinking their fill. All right, two more. Okay. Oh, it's so much fun getting all these stamps loaded up and ready to go. Now we need our ink pad back. So I'm going to get the basic gray and start again with the images. Right. Because this is big, I'm going to place it on its back and I'm going to use the stamp pad in this direction to load the ink. And then I'm going to flip it and stamp it there. And then I'm going to also stamp it on this one more time. Oh, that is pretty. I'm going to have a lot of fun coloring this one, I think, because there are hundreds and hundreds of varieties of hummingbirds. Most of them are in South America or in warmer climates in any case. But in the US, you can get the most variety of hummingbirds in New Mexico and Arizona. And it was actually in Arizona where we were able to enjoy the exposure to the hummingbird banding. And that was a lot of fun. We also went to the Sonora Desert Museum, and they had a hummingbird aviary where there was hummingbirds that lived there, and you got to be in there and see them. And we saw quite a variety of different hummingbirds with different colors and other plumages that you wouldn't normally see even here in Colorado. We get like rufuses, almost anywhere in the US can get rufus hummingbirds. We get black chin hummingbirds here in Colorado. We can get anise hummingbirds. There's 4 images, right? Yep, there's the 4th one. Those are the ones I'm thinking of immediately, but I think there's more. But in Arizona and New Mexico, we saw a much larger variety of hummingbirds there. So those are the images. Now let's start working with the text. Sometimes there are no words, so this is going to be a beautiful sympathy set. And this is the one I told you that can lead to halos if you're not careful. Mostly important is stamping straight down with no rocking when you have this kind of stamp. Enjoy your day. So that one's not as much sympathy, but this one is definitely going to be sympathy from what I'm seeing. You're in my thoughts today. And our last one for words. Where in the world would I be without you? So this is one where I would definitely want the sticker on, because as you can see, I'm definitely at a funky angle, because that one's not going to, from the shape of it, really give you a good idea of how it's going to stamp without that sticker on the back. So in this case, I would definitely use the stickers for that stamp specifically. All right, time to get the cut and emboss machine out again. You could do, I think you might be able to do all of them except for a few on the mini, but since I have the big boy out, that's what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to do the hummingbird first. I'm not going to do any of the other outlines simply because they're just an outline of what you've seen already stamped. So there we go. Get my plate. And there we go. I love it. All right. Now let's do the other basic images on this. We'll do it on this other bit. Some of them. There we go. No point in wasting the paper that came off of the others for this. And I don't think that one will fit there, so let's grab this guy and do this one and this one, and then we'll do the labels next, or at least some of them. So as I said, you can get access to all of these products, including the glass mat now, if it's something you can't wait for, by becoming a demonstrator right anytime before the 4th. You can even put these products in your starter kit. The choice is you can get the Glass Studio for free if you become a demonstrator during Celebration, which won't happen until the oh my goodness, until January 4th, actually. And let me lift this off. There we go. And all right, I'm not going to keep banging that down, so I'm just going to use my Stampin' or picking tool and get it to release. There we go. That's going to be fun. We will look at all of them. We'll do these together first because the rest is just the labels. And these bits are just the innards. However, you could do this one in 2 different colors and stuff the innards back in a different color to give you a different look. I know some people did that with the teacups year and a half ago when the new catalog last year launched. But these are the solid images and the one outline image that this die set cuts. All right, let's get some of these sentiments. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a little bit big for that, so we'll do that and this, and that will leave one of that we are going to do on the next sheet. All right, place our other cutting pad on it. Oops. Try not to move it so that it is no longer on things. And run it through. And again, that snapping and cracking is a part of what happens sometimes. It is not breaking it. All right, so you can do this because it has stitching on both sides on a card front to make a hole that would show other things, but it layers quite well. So if you want to do some color changes with the paper, so like the sentiment would be white on a different colored background, that can add dimension as well to your projects. All right. And I'm just going to do as many of these as will fit on this sheet. Not really a whole lot of point in showing all of them because obviously there are a few and they do layer quite well together. But I will do as many as I can. That one is looking like it's going to be too big. So these are the only 2 I haven't cut. And place our other cutting plate on top and go back through. Take that down. This is why I'm only going to be able to do 2 a day because they are, and it's taken an hour to show you all of this stuff, but I think it's worth showing you. Ah, that one didn't fully get cut because I wasn't fully on the stamping plate. All right. I'll take these and put it down. Get rid of that extra. Okay. So there was an old card technique I saw from Julie Davidson with various layering things that I'm probably going to try and case using this set. You know, just an idea of the style of how it works. But those are the labels, except for one of each. And then these are the die cuts. And where did I put the stamped images? I had them. All the fun. Oh, I know where I put them. They're on the other side of this. Oops. All right, let's get these down on here. There's that. And there are these stamped images. So as you can see, the hummingbird looks really pretty along with everything else. And that is the precious poetic expressions. Still learning it, but there we go. That is the Poetic Expressions and Forever Love Sweets. They are coming in the new catalog. It will be available to everybody on January 4th. And let's see. It'll be available to everybody on January 4th. But if you can't wait and need it now, then you're definitely going to want to become a demonstrator. And you can do that from my website by selecting to join if you'd like to choose me as your demonstrator. And we do have all kinds of fun on our team. We get lots of opportunities to swap cards and see a lot of other ideas of how people are using the products to make cards and projects and things of that nature. There's a ton of training available if you actually want to run it as a business, but there's no requirement to do that if that's not in your wheelhouse or in your life plan at the moment. You don't have to. You can just get your discount and enjoy the products and enjoy having early access to the products, really, which is what the big deal is for me. So this has been Harmony Stamps with Michelle. And it's been a pleasure being with you today. I will try and come back tomorrow with 2 more sweets. And there are also some fun sweets, that's for sure. And I'm looking forward to playing with those with you as well. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I would love to know what you think of the products that we showed today. Have a fantastic day.